Good morning everyone. Welcome back to the class of mathematics. This video is for the students of class 7 and today in this lecture I am going to discuss the solutions of revision test that I have assigned you in the previous lecture, and that is of chapter number 3, data handling. So let us start with question number 1. Question number 1 we are having is multiple choice questions. So this question includes 3 parts. First one is the median of the data. This is the data given, these are the observations given, and we have to calculate the median. So for finding the median, first we have to arrange the data in ascending order. So let us arrange the data in ascending order. Here is the data that I have arranged: 40, 50, 60, 68, 94, 98 and 99. So now we have to count the number of observations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 observations. So how you will calculate the middlemost? If we are having 7 observation, we have to find the median. Median means the middlemost observation. So here I am observing the middlemost observation is 68, because before 68 we have 3 observations and after 68 we have 3 observations. So simply the median is 68, because 68 is the middlemost observation in this question. So the correct option is C, that is 68. Or you can apply the formula, you can directly apply the formula after arranging this in ascending order, then also you will get the median as 68. Second part we have is, on tossing a coin, the outcome is, or you can say the sample space. If you are tossing a coin, the outcome is, it can either be head or tail. So the correct option is, we have D, either head or either tail. Okay, so this is the correct option, that is option number D. Now third part of question number 1 is, which of the following has the same mean, median and mode? We have to find which of the following option has same mean, median and mode. We have 4 options given and we have to find which one is having the same mean, median and mode. So let us start with A part. So first thing, we have to arrange the data in ascending order. Here I have already arranged the data. Every part I have arranged in ascending order. So let us start with A part. So this is the ascending order. Now first we will calculate mode and median, as it is easy to find mode than these two. So here we can observe that 4 is coming maximum number of times. So 4 is the mode. So here mode is 4. Now come to median. Median, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 number of observations. In each part we have 7 number of observations. So 7 plus 1 by 2. Fourth will be the middlemost observation. So here median is also 4. Now come to mean. Mean means sum of all observations divided by number of observations. So let us sum these observations first. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 6, 6 plus 4 10, 14, then 19 and then 25. So its sum is 25 and 25 divided by 7. So it will not be 4. So in this case mean, median and mode are not same. So this is wrong option. Same, if you will check these two options, they will also cancel out. Here median and mode will be same, but mean will not be same as that of mode and median. So these two options will also cancel out. Now third option, sorry, D option, let us discuss this one. Here I have arranged the data in ascending order. So first we will find the mode, because it is easy among them to find mode. So mode is the maximum number of observation. Here 4 is occurring 4 times. So the mode is 4. Okay. So in D option we have mode is equal to 4. Now median. Median is the fourth observation, that is also 4. So median is also 4. Now come to the mean. Mean we have to add them. 3 plus 3 6, then 10, 14, 18, 22 and then 28. 28 divided by 7, that is also 4. So here mean is also 4. So option D has the same mean, median and mode. So this is the correct option. Okay, D is the correct option because we found that mode, median and mean are same in this option. Okay, so this is your correct option. Now come to second question, that is true false. First part we are having is the data 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 has every observation as mode. Yes, because they all are coming once, they are occurring only once, so they all are considered, they all are considered as your mode. So this is true. Come to, because as we have learned, there can be more than one mode in the data. So that is the case that here we are having 5 modes. Okay. Now come to B part. If a die is thrown, the probability of a number greater than 6 is 1. We know that on a dice we have numbers from 1 to 6. So they are asking if a die is thrown, the probability of getting a number greater than 6. And we know that there is no number on the face of the dice that is greater than 6. So that is an impossible event because we will never get a number greater than 0, a number greater than 6 in a throw of a die. So this is impossible event, and we know that probability of an impossible event is 0, not 1. So this is false. As this is impossible event because you will never get a number greater than 6 on a die. So this is impossible event and probability of an impossible event is 0. Here it is written 1, so it is false. Third part we are having is mean can never be in fraction. This is totally false because we have seen in many examples that mean can also be in fraction. Okay, so this is false statement. Now come to question number 3rd. Question number 3rd is fill in the blanks. First part is the probability of getting a number greater than 2 on throwing a die is. So on throwing a dice we have total possible outcomes is 6 and we have to find the probability of a number that are greater than 2. So we have 4 numbers that are greater than 2, that are 3, 4, 5, 6 and the question is talking about a die. We have 6 numbers. Overall we have 6 numbers and we have to calculate the probability of a number that is greater than 2. So the numbers which are greater than 2 will be our favorable cases. So we have 4 favorable outcomes. So 4 by 6 is the probability. In simplest form you can write 2 by 3. So its answer is 2 by 3. Now come to second part. Second part we have is dash can be used to compare two collections of data. This we have learned that double bar graph can be used to compare two collection of data. So its answer is double bar graphs. Come to third part. The probability of an event which is impossible to happen and certain to happen. Certain means surely happen. Okay, sure. Certain to happen is dash and dash respectively. So impossible event, the probability of an impossible event is 0 and the probability of a sure event, or you can say certain to happen, is 1. So its answer is 0 and 1. Now come to question number 4. Question number 4 is find the median of the data and this is of 2 marks. So you have to write each and every step in finding the median. So let us discuss the solution of question number 4. We have to find the median. So just recall the steps how to find the median. First, we have to arrange the data in ascending order. So this I have arranged that this is in ascending order from smaller to the larger one. Then second step, we have to count the number of observations. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 number of observations, that is odd. Okay, so we have learned two cases how to find median when we have number of observations are odd and number of observations are even. So this is the case when the number of observations is odd. So how you will calculate median? So median is given by this observation n plus 1th by n plus 1 by 2th observation. Here n we have number of observations, that is 7. So put the value 7 plus 1 divided by 2th observation. 7 plus 1 8 by 2 and 8 by 2 means 4th observation, and 4th observation you have to count from the order, ascending order that you have arranged. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th observation. So this will be your median. Okay, so 6 is your answer. Now come to question number 5. Question number 5 is, some integers are given, find the range of the given data. We have given some integers and we have to find the range. Range means the difference between the maximum and minimum observation. So here I can find out that 20 is the maximum observation and minus 17 is the minimum observation. So we have to find their difference. So how you will solve this question? First I will write the formula. I have to find the range. So range is given by maximum observation minus minimum observation. Here the maximum observation is 20 and the minimum is minus 17. And we have to find the difference. Okay, so this is only for the difference and this is the lowest, this is the minimum observation. Okay, so here I have to put two signs. This is for difference and this is already given, as the observations here are given to be integer. Okay, so plus plus will minus minus will be plus. So 20 plus 17, that is 37. Okay, this is your range. Don't get confused in these two, because I have put the two negative sign. This is for difference and this is for the integer, because we have given the observations as integer now. So it is minus 17 is the minimum observation we have given. So we have to find the difference. So it will be 37 is the range. Now come to question number 6. So question number 6 is, what is the probability that a student chosen at random out of 3 girls and 4 boys is a boy? We have to find the probability that the chosen student is a boy. Okay, so how to solve this? We have given 3 girls and 4 boys and we have to choose one. We have to choose one boy. Okay, so we have total number of possible outcomes as 7, because total we have 3 girls and 4 boys. So possible outcome will be 3 plus 4, that is 7, because the chosen student can be from boys and can be from girls. So it is 3 plus 7. Total outcomes, total students we have is 7. Now we have to find the probability of number of boys. We have to find the probability of a boy, that the chosen student is a boy. So number of favorable outcomes will be the number of boys, because the selected student is a boy. So number of favorable outcomes is 4, because we have 4 boys total out of 7 students. So here we have 4 number of favorable outcomes. Now we know that how to find the probability. That is given by the formula, probability of an event. Here we have chosen the boy, so we have to find the probability of a boy. So in general we have probability of an event is number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of possible outcomes. So here event is a boy, because we have to find the probability of a boy. So probability of a boy is number of favorable outcomes, that are number of boys we have 4. And total we have possible outcomes as 7, because we have 7 students, total 7 students, and we have to choose one boy from these 7. Okay, so 4 by 7 is your answer. Now come to question number 7. This is very interesting question. Question number 7. The cards bearing letters of the word mathematics. We have the cards given and the cards has the letter, cards have, all the cards have the letters of the word mathematics and they are placed in a bag. A card is taken out from the bag without looking into the bag. At randomly, one card is taken out. So first question, first A part is how many outcomes are possible? Means they are asking for possible outcomes when a letter is taken out of the bag at random. If any of the letter is taken out from the bag at random, so how many possible outcomes were there? So we have the letters, we have all the letters bearing these alphabets. Okay, so these are how many numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So obviously we have 11 possible outcomes. So we have 11 number of possible outcomes, as it is clearly mentioned in the question that all the cards that are in the bag, they are bearing letters of the word these. So we have one card of this letter, then one of this. Again, same way we have one card of each of the alphabet. Okay, here M is occurring twice, so there are two cards of letter M. So there are possible, we have 11 possible outcomes. So possible outcomes, they are cards of letter A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So number of possible outcomes we have 11. Okay. Now B part we are having is what is the probability of getting M? We have to find the probability of getting the card bearing letter M. So for finding the probability, first I will write the number of possible outcomes. This I have already mentioned in part A. So no need to mention it again. So directly I will write the formula first. Probability of an event is given by the formula number of favorable outcomes divided by number of possible outcomes. So we have to find the probability of the letter M. Okay. So M, how many M's are there in the possible outcomes? 1, 2. So there are two alphabets. There are two cards bearing letter M. So we have two favorable outcomes because we have to find the probability of M. As we have to find the probability of the letter M, so here in the possible outcomes we have two cards that are bearing letter M. So favorable outcomes we have two. Now how you will find the probability of an M? That is favorable number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of possible outcomes. So we have two favorable outcomes because we have to find the probability of M, and in total outcomes we have two cards of M. So 2 by 11 is the required probability. Come to second part. Second part we have to find the probability of any vowel. Okay, we have to find the probability of any vowel. So favorable outcomes will be vowel in this case. So here I am observing that in all the possible outcomes the vowels are A, E, again A and I. So we have four favorable outcomes that are vowel. So favorable outcomes will be all the vowels from possible outcomes. They are A, E, A, I. So number of favorable outcomes we have 4 because they are 4 in numbers. So probability of a vowel that is equals to number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. So number of favorable outcomes we have 4 and total we have 11 cards. So 4 by 11 is the required probability that is of a vowel. Okay. C part we have to find the probability of any consonant. Okay. Any consonant means alphabet different from A, E, I, O, U. So here we have to find the favorable outcomes that are consonant from the possible outcomes. So this is the one consonant, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So overall we have 7 favorable outcomes because we have to find the probability of a consonant, and we have 7 consonants in all the possible outcomes. So 7 will be the number of favorable outcomes. So favorable outcomes, we have all the consonants that are from possible consonants, possible letters. So number of favorable outcomes we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. So probability of a consonant is number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of possible outcomes. For favorable outcomes we have 7 and total we have 11 outcomes. So 7 by 11 is the required probability. Now come to D part, we have to find the probability of the letter X. So here in mathematics there is no alphabet, there is no X. So we have number of favorable outcomes is equal to 0 because there is no X in the word mathematics. So number of favorable outcomes is 0. So probability of an X is, we have number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. Here we have 0 as the number of favorable outcomes divided by all total number of possible outcomes, that is 11. So 0 divided by any number is 0. So this is impossible event. Okay, so its probability is 0. Now come to question number 8. Question number 8 is, a die was thrown 16 times and the outcomes recorded were. These are the outcomes that are recorded when a die is thrown 16 times. So we have to find the range, mean, median and mode. We have to find 4 things: range, median, so range, mean, median and mode. So these are the observations I have given. They are 16 in numbers. First I will find the range, that is maximum observation minus minimum observation. So maximum here I am observing, that is 6, and minimum is 1. So 6 minus 1, 5 is the required range. Second, we have to find the mean. So how you will calculate mean? That is given by sum of all observations divided by total number of observations. So you have to sum up all the observations given divided by 12 because they are 12 in numbers. Sorry, we have to divide it with, we have to divide it by 16 because we have given 16 number of observations. Okay, so we have to divide it by 16, and on adding them I will get 48. 48 divided by 16 I will get 3. So mean is 3. Okay, how to calculate mean? Sum of all observations divided by total number of observations. On adding all the observations I am getting 48 and I have to divide it with 16. Okay, because the number of observations here given to be 16. So your answer is 3. So mean is 3. Now come to the median. How you will find the median? First step, arrange the data in ascending order. So I have arranged the data in ascending order. We have 16 number of observations. Then count the number of observations as it is. It is also given in the question. They are 16 in numbers and 16 is an even number. So how you will calculate median? Median you will calculate, there will be 2 middle most observation and mean average of those 2 middle observation will give you the median. So the formula is n by 2th observation plus n by 2 plus 1th observation whole divided by 2. Here n is 16. So 16 by 2th observation plus 16 by 2 plus 1th observation whole divided by 2. 16 by 2 is 8th observation plus 16 by 2, 8 plus 1. Okay, 8 plus 1. So 8th plus 9th observation, as I already told you, if you are getting 8th here, so here it will be always one more than this observation. Okay, so 8th plus 9th observation. Now I have to find the 8th and 9th observation from the order, from the ascending order I have arranged. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 8th observation and this is the 9th observation. So put the value of 8th and 9th observation. 8th observation we have 2, so 9th observation we have 3. Okay, whole divided by 2. So 2 plus 3 is 5 divided by 2, that is 2.5 is the median of the given data. Here the number of observations are even, so I have applied this formula, n by 2th observation plus n by 2 plus 1, 1th whole divided by 2. Then I have solved 8th observation, that you have to count from the ascending order, that is 2, and 9th observation is 3. So 2 plus 3, 5 by 2, that will give you 2.5. So 2.5 is the median of the required data. Now how you will find mode? Mode is the maximum occurring observation or most occurring observation. Here in the data, I am observing that 1 is coming 4 times and 2 is coming 4 times. So there will be two mode in this data. So mode will be 1 and 2 because they are occurring same number of time. So this is your question number 8. Now come to question number 9. Question number 9 we are having is, in a public library the following observations were recorded by librarian in a particular week. So this is the data given. Now draw a double bar graph choosing an appropriate scale. We have to draw the double bar graph. Here on a particular day we have given the newspaper readers and the magazine readers. On Monday we have 400 newspaper readers and 150 magazine readers. Same for the other days. We have to represent the data on graph. So the graph will be like this. Here this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Here it will be number of readers and here I am representing days. So we have to compare the data. We have to compare the data of each day. So the unshaded one will represent the newspaper readers and the shaded one will represent the magazine readers. I have to write the scale also. Here I have taken 1 unit is equal to 50 readers because I have chosen the scale of 1 unit 50 readers. This 1 unit will represent 50 readers and we have to take the increment, say equal increment then, and then I have represented the data. This I have explained you many times, so hope this is clear to you. So this is the double bar graph. Now we have given some part to answers, so let us discuss those. B part we are having in which day the number of readers in the library was maximum. So we have to find on which day the number of readers in the library was maximum. For that I have to sum these. I have to add newspaper readers and magazine readers for every day. So on adding, let us add them. So this will be 550, this will be 700, this will be 550 again, and this will be 850. So this will be 750 and this will be 550. So here I am observing on Thursday the number of readers were maximum. Okay, so on Thursday the number of readers in the library was maximum. So its answer is Thursday. Now we have to find the C part. We have to find the mean number of magazine readers. We have to find the mean number of magazine readers. For that, how you will calculate mean? Sum of all observations divided by number of observations. We have to find the mean of magazine readers. So I will add up the observation. I will add up the data that is given for magazine readers. So sum of all observations divided by 6, because we have given the data of 6 days. So it will be 1200 by 6, that is 200. So 200 is the mean number of magazine readers. Now this is all about the solutions. Now let come to the homework. You have to do the correction of test in your homework notebook, and from tomorrow onwards we will start a new chapter, that is exponents and power, that is chapter number 13. So this is all about the solution. Hope you have done well. All the very best. Thank you.